Hello and welcome to this very special edition of the Irish Wrestling Podcast. My name is Mark O'Brien, and today I'm joined by someone who's incredibly special. He is a wrestling veteran, he's a wrestling legend in a lot of people's eyes. He's a vice president of talent development with All Elite Wrestling. He is the owner of Nightmare Factory, and he's the owner and promoter of One Fall Wrestling with a huge show that's coming out from the very famous Center Stage in Atlanta. I'm joined by the one and the only QT Marshall. How are you doing today, sir?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing absolutely excellent. I'm doing excellent. Yeah, sorry. There's obviously a bit of a break in the internet there, but listen, as I said in the intro, this Friday night you've got an incredibly big and special show this coming Friday with your own personal promotion, One FW, with your SummerStage show, marking your debut at the legendary Center Stage. You've got an incredible amount of tickets sold already. You've got an incredible list of talent appearing. You've got an incredible card in hands. What can fans expect from One FW SummerStage this Friday at Center Stage Theatre?
Yeah, so Summer Stage is kind of like a culmination of the whole year of all the hard work that the kids put into it. I mean, a lot of them have been working when we had Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling. We did a relaunch tour, myself and Cody's sister Teal,
Yeah.
and then we morphed back into One FW, which was my brand that I originally had when I first moved down to Georgia in 2017. And this was an idea that we had just to kind of, with all the hard work that they put into it every week, these, you know, One FW and Turnbuckle, they ran every weekend. They still do. I mean, we have a show tonight,
Yeah.
a Monday Mayhem show, that we run, like, as we try to run as many shows as we possibly can, to give, the athletes as much work as they possibly can get. So this way, it's the only way you're going to get better at this job. And then I thought it would be really cool if we did something, at Center Stage, right? I mean, it's a historic venue, and listen, doing this as long as I've been doing it, not everyone is going to get the chance to get to wrestle in some of these buildings for major companies.
Yeah.
But I spoke to my business partner as well. We said, hey, if we put some money aside and we kind of figure all this out. And, so we were able to make it work. Fortunately, we're doing really well with ticket sales as well. That helps. But, we can always use more. So that's why I want to promote as much as we possibly can. But at the same time, it's just great. A lot of the AEW talent are helping out as well. Not as many wrestling, but that's because God forbid something were to happen, and then we don't want to do that. But they will be appearing. I mean, hey, we were able to get Tony Schiavone to appear at Center Stage, and it's been over 30 years. So he's going to be part of the VIP meet and greet, which is just something we wanted to do. It came with the first couple rows, but then on top of that, you can add it to any ticket for like $20, $25, and you get to meet myself, Tony, Harley Cameron, and all the frat house. You get to enter an hour beforehand. So you'll have an hour to deal with us and have fun and get a signed special. It's like an exclusive Summer Stage poster, which will have all the talent on there as well. So we're just trying to make it as big and feel as special as we possibly can. One of the things, due to our relationship with, AEW, my job at AEW, we are always able to pull out some surprises. So I don't want to guarantee anything, but I'm a huge believer in under promising and over delivering, right? And just keeping something special. So this way, those fans that trucked out there, because our shows are predominantly in the Athens area, which is about an hour and 20 minutes to Center Stage, or McDonough, where I live, and that's about another hour away. So
Yeah.
for them to kind of get centralized in Atlanta, it's asking a lot, especially with the ticket prices and parking and on a Friday with traffic in Atlanta. But, like I said, we're very happy with ticket sales so far, and we still have the rest of this week. So
Yeah,
hopefully I answered that the right way.
100% you did, and like the hype you've got for this show already, like the talent appearing, but it's all like you're as you alluded to at the very start there. You are running an awful lot of shows in one FW. You've got when this Friday comes around, you'll have ran 3 shows in 8 days. Like you're running it almost as like a local territory for not just a developmental territory for the guys who
Sure.
got from the Nightmare Factory, but also as a way for guys, your colleagues, other people within the independent sphere to get reps as well, and also within a kind of a niche area in Georgia where there's got a huge amount of history. Is one FW very purposely being utilized in that manner as a developmental territory as such for both your Nightmare Factory guys as well as guys you're working with on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I mean, it's always there, right? So,
Mm,
like a lot of the talent, even at AEW,
yeah,
I mean, I have no problem saying this. I'm not out to lose money, right?
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey, we have a show, we run a show. It's a very small budget. A lot of the money goes right back into the events,
yeah.
like that. I mean, Center Stage is probably upwards of 20 grand total with everything all in, and that's not including talent and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. So, it's like, hey, you can get reps, and I always recommend that, or you can go work elsewhere as well, like I'll wrestle 7 times on the show if I have to make sure that we get, 2 hours worth of entertainment for the live crowds. But of course, a lot of the athletes that we have, they'd rather wrestle for us because it's closer to their home. Also, they know they're going to get put in situations that are more controlled, right? And we make sure that no one gets hurt and they have good, like we just bought new ring padding, and anytime something happens, we go right away. And hey, I'm fortunate enough to have the job at AEW and the leeway that Tony gives us to be able to do these things, but also have the financial ability to, have an LED screen for the kids when they walk out there. I call them kids, but they're adults. But they get to have an LED screen, and it just, again, these are all things that, when I wish that when I was wrestling, when I first started, that there was a place that had these things, to give me the practice and so on and so forth. I mean, I think we're going to do a taping on August 7th, which will be free admission. It's up at the Southern Honor Action Church building, which is where DDP's guy Dylan, he runs his events out of there. And I made a deal with him where we can, just shoot a round of tapings and stuff and try to get some more stuff out there. I've been very hesitant to put our brand, and stream it. And I want people to come to the live shows. You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, you need to perform in front of actual human beings that pay money. Or, if they're entered for free, right? But like, they have to be there and they have to enjoy the show, which it's a testament to all the hard work that everyone puts in, that they're able to, get these crowds, and they've been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, like I said, it's something that I've always wanted to do. When I first moved down to Georgia, and then AEW started, so I kind of had to peel away from it a little bit. And then, obviously Cody with the Nightmare Factory and the WWE ID thing, it kind of puts a wedge in certain things. But as long as they're not under a WWE ID deal, which most of the athletes aren't, then I have no problem letting them get reps on the show and stuff like that. I mean, usually if they show up, they're on the show. It's just the way I work. It's very rare that not everyone, even if it's 8-man tags, 10-man tag, like we try to get everybody on there. But it's also special. And I try to let the athletes know that, like, these guys have a special thing that's going on. Don't take advantage of that, but also don't lose sight of that, because there's a lot of other independent organizations out there. Some are really good, and then some are really bad. And I do like the idea of them going out there and getting both. But at the same time, if we can control what we can control, I think it's much better. And then if Tony ever decides, hey, do you have anybody, or can you, hey, then we're already there. One of the things I stress more than anything is I have the relationship with Tony and AEW because of my job. I don't want to take advantage of that. Right. So I don't want to take advantage of that. And I also don't want AEW to like fund our company. Right. Because then I lose control. So one thing I don't ever want to do is lose control. So that's, and I'm sure, because I've been on the inside, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are trying to get help from Tony and all this other stuff. I don't want to be one of those. I'd rather keep it and explain that. And as long as everyone is upfront and honest with each other about what these shows are meant for, what we each get out of them, you know what I mean? Then no one ever gets upset, right? Because like, if somebody tells me, hey, I don't want to work for you unless you give me $5,000, I'll tell them, hey, I can't give you $5,000. If you don't want to work, it's okay. We just move about our day, right? So and obviously we don't have a lot of that, so that's really good. But at the same time, I completely understand. But I think, like I said, center stage, it's just something that I never thought could be attainable. And obviously pulling in some favors and so on and so forth. But I just think, like I said, it's a testament to the hard work that the guys and girls put in every week to have this following and this brand that they can tout proudly. And it's funny, I had a picture sent to me of another school, and I won't mention what it is, but there's an athlete that I personally helped train as well, and they have pictures of them everywhere at their school. And so someone sent it to me and said, hey, how come you don't have this? And I said, well, because I don't want to brag about our people. I think the people should brag about us. Very easy for me to say, oh, Jade Cargill, this person, Anna Jay and Lee Johnson and da-da-da. I don't need to do that. I don't want to do that. That's just extra work that I would hope that if they were happy with what they learned and with the training that we gave, that they would tout about us. And if not, that's okay as well, right? We did a service for them. They paid for it, and we all move on. So, but like I said, we're excited. We were just going over all the, nuts and bolts of everything and video walls and making sure everything's set up the right way. I actually have to format the show, which I will do today.
Yeah.
Which luckily I do that with Tony. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
so I have all the practice in the world. So it should be pretty fun. I'm very excited. We have some sponsors, and Dalton Carpet One is our main sponsor. They sponsor
Brilliant.
every single one of our shows. It's a yearly sponsor that we have. And then through Dave Marquette, the Car Shield on board as well.
Yeah.
Major insurance company, and then a production company, and the LED company that's doing our LED stuff.
Yeah.
So we just try to partner with as many people as we can, because of course, it's independent wrestling. As much
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
it's going to look major league, it's still independent wrestling at the end of the day.
But it does come across incredibly special, even just from the hype and atmosphere online. You read about shows that are ongoing at the minute. Like it's a very much you've established a wrestling community in the greater Georgia area, particularly around Atlanta, and you have that kind of family-friendly core audience who are attending shows on a Monday and a Friday, and then the following Friday, and building up the
Sure.
shows throughout the summer. So that's obviously something incredibly tangible, where you have that audience who will travel from McDonough or wherever it is within Georgia, then come to Center Stage in Atlanta. So it's incredibly exciting. But it's also incredibly exciting for the guys you have in the Nightmare Factory, the guys like Diamond Sheik, Jackson Jameson, who are going to be appearing in your own Casino Gauntlet format match this coming Friday as well. So like
Yeah.
how will that format of a match lend to, I suppose, to the Center Stage environment, but as well as for these kind of Nightmare Factory students or trainee wrestlers who are trying to get reps as they go along in the wrestling experience?
Yeah. So what's cool is that obviously Tony's idea, I think it works excellent. It's a great
Yeah,
way to get a lot of people on the show.
yeah,
Also, you don't have to just do a generic battle royal,
yeah,
which we will probably do as well, because we have so many kids, right? And
yeah,
we'll probably do that pre-show battle royal, make everyone, like I said, everyone will get in the ring in front of everybody. So,
yeah,
but the Casino Gauntlet, the idea for that obviously was Tony's, but what I wanted to do was we created this title called the Breakout title. There's been so many athletes coming through, and again, like unfortunately, I'm no longer affiliated with the actual Nightmare Factory, right? Just because obviously they're getting people ready to hopefully get WWE contracts.
right,
So
yeah,
it's a little weird, but
yeah.
at the same time, all the kids that go through those camps, which I recommend as well, they have access to come work our shows and so on and so forth. So a lot of them are the more experienced guys that'll be in this match,
Yeah.
particularly. And that Breakout title, the idea behind that was, hopefully it's whoever wins this title becomes the first ever breakout champion. That's the whole idea behind it, to break out. It's to kind of put a little spotlight on these people. So I had other ideas to use other people. And then I thought, okay, if I use a surprise and say it's someone from AEW, I didn't want to do that. And then they're not going to win because they've already broken out. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that it's kind of like a stepping stone for these athletes to kind of get some recognition. And then, it hopefully brings, like I said, more light on their careers, and hopefully they can get to the next level, right? It's kind of like our stamp of approval, like, hey, watch out for this guy or girl. Like, hey, this is somebody that we really believe in, and we're willing to put a title on them, and so on and so forth. So I'm excited for it. Again, there's been a lot of lineage in what was called the One Fall Power Factory at the time, before I partnered with Cody. Like a lot of these guys, Lee Johnson, Alan Angels, and they had, some of them had previous experience with like AR Fox or something like that. Which I always recommend. Get out there and train as much as you possibly can. Learn from everybody, right? And then it's putting all those pieces together at the right time. And the pandemic, as crazy as it was a very special time for our students and trainees. They were able to, solidify some jobs and so on and so forth. So again, we've never really touted about that stuff, but I do think that lineage is there, and hopefully this breakout title. But yeah, like I said, I mean, Tony having that idea, I think it's a pretty easy formula. You just gotta, we got to put it together and make sure that everyone gets enough stuff. But at the end of the day too, like, the hardest part is, obviously it's a bigger show. We went through it with All In, right? Everyone wants to be part of the show. Everyone wants to be out there, and we get it. And unfortunately, there's not room for every single wrestler in the world, right? So we've turned down a lot. Also, some of our students might not get the match that they're looking for, so on and so forth. But again, it's there's a lot of hard work that gets put into it, and those people, we believe, if they work hard, they will get rewarded, and that's just the way it works.
Yeah, I mean, like with the format half for it, and the kind of the intimate, almost intimate setting of Center Stage, with the kind of amphitheater feel people coming at one at a time. And with the amount of talent you've got, you're contracted on television or otherwise, and there's going to be a level of expectation. Having that casino gauntlet match within the show, I think they'll be bring a huge amount of excitement and a huge amount of anticipation for new talent. They'll give them an extra shining light. But like I suppose like with one FW, do you have any kind of ultimate ambitions, be it to get on to say local television within the Atlanta, Georgia area? Is it to expand further into Florida or surrounding states? Do you have any kind of overarching goals, what you want this product to be in 6 months, 12 months down the line?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Right now, I deal with Coastal Championship Wrestling. They're in Florida and
Yeah.
Nashville as well.
Yeah.
So we're right in the middle. So we've
Okay.
toyed with the idea. I think a lot of it comes down to uh, egos, right? I think company wide, like,
Yeah.
hey, what do you see? What do I see? I am a huge believer in do everything yourself.
Yeah.
And then people will always want to jump on board. We've gone over the past year because I have a facility that's empty right now.
Okay.
It's just a wide open space that is great for shooting content.
Yeah.
You could literally film entire TV shows there. So
Yeah.
that is what I've been toying with for the past couple of
Mhm.
months. Like, should we do it? It's a lot of money, but maybe we can
Yeah.
make it work, and so on and so forth. And so that's probably where we're headed.
Mhm.
I don't know where it lands.
Okay.
We have some meetings going on and stuff like that. Obviously, you don't want to go too big to where, then I have to worry about it interfering with my job.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think, there's a way to make everything work, right? There's always a way. So yeah, I mean, I've spoken with Dave Marquez, who
Okay.
basically has syndicated television throughout the whole country.
Yeah.
I know he's willing to basically replace his show with our show in Georgia, which
Yeah.
could help get local sponsors and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of conversations out there. It's just, I never want to, if they film the matches that we have, like tonight, for instance, I mean, this is in a warehouse of a brewery.
Yeah.
So I'm not really concerned with the aesthetic,
Yeah.
right? Because again, this is just for people to have fun and the guys and girls to get reps. But if you're going to put out a product, it has to look pristine, right? It just does.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that that's what's going to separate people. Even when I first opened the school in 2017, we had a brand new ring,
Yeah.
nice customized ring skirts, turnbuckles, the banners hanging up. Like, it had to look above the rest, or else you're not going to succeed. And knowing that I work for AEW, I feel like there's going to be that pressure to make sure it's right. So yeah, we have some stuff. I think in the next, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll actually have something going on that we can probably, put out there. And I hope that it's something that, again, these guys and girls can really, get the reps that they need. So that way, when their number's called, they're ready.
Yeah, and I think with the modern world and kind of the world of streaming and kind of crazy, I coach rugby with people who are 18 to 25 and they're all insane. So they have an expectation to be able to get their eyes on everything and everything under the sun immediately. So I think given the kind of the hype around a show like this, there will naturally be that kind of following. I want to see this. Why can't I see this? Be it on a Twitter and Instagram. But as I said, there's a double-edged sword. Given your success of Nightmare Factory, given the affiliation with AEW, there is that probably expectation to look better than your typical indie that's streaming on any old platform, be it Triller or whatnot. But no, I'm incredibly excited. I'm a huge amount of anticipation. I'm sitting in Ireland, and I really want to hear how this goes. Like, you're running in Centre Stage only a couple of weeks after WWE ran an event in the same venue.
Sure.
How big of a challenge has that been? Even like not even just in ticket sales and whatnot, but like logistically getting things in line, getting talent in line. Has that been a big obstacle as well?
No, I mean, I actually thought it was a benefit to us because
brilliant. Okay.
it gave my students a chance to go there and hand out some flyers. And listen, at the end of the day, that fan base, that NXT fan base is probably the fan base that would recognize, the MJFs, the Gun Club, myself, the Frat House guys, Harley Cameron, Tony Schiavone. So in the past week, we had, I think we went from, almost 100 tickets.
Yeah.
And that's just the past week. So the past 2 weeks, probably about 150 or so. I think we had the biggest jump on Friday, and that's probably because it was payday for a lot of people and it's the week before the show. So I think a lot of people were waiting for that, obviously. And we've donated some tickets to our sponsors and stuff as well. So we're hoping that there's probably going to be about 450, 500 people in the building. I mean, the building, the way it's set up, it says on WrestleTix, 7 whatever, but I think it's like 6 something. And then the top part, we can curtain and all. Like, we spent a lot of money on the production part of it to get the lighting set up. And I watched GCW there, and they use the house lighting. Now, granted, GCW has a much different feel than what we have. And that's okay, right? I mean, I think that they stay in their lane. They do a great job of that. I didn't want to use that lighting in the event that we didn't sell a lot of tickets. So, I want to darken out the crowd and spotlight the wrestling. So the fact that we're able to sell some tickets has helped a lot because that'll help pay for some of that stuff. But it should be really cool. I just sent over our production team, NXT, from the center stage. So this way they could kind of see what they did, and then we could kind of toy around with it and so on and so forth. But, I'm hoping to make it a yearly event. You know what I mean? And like this way, it's a culmination of all their hard work. We can kind of get the storylines. We didn't really start doing many storylines up until maybe like 2 months ago. It was basically just spot shows and just, hey, throw these guys out there, let them wrestle, so on and so forth. So, but I think if we can get some sort of content to get out there, we can drive more people to these live events, and then on top of that, tell the stories and introduce these characters and so on and so forth to the point where hopefully, it can be a weekly thing. And I think we have the team to do it. I think we have the numbers to do it. It's just about doing it, right?
That's incredible. No, that's brilliant to hear that counter programming has another benefit for you guys as well, as much as anything.
Sure, I looked at it as a full-on positive. I mean, it stunk for us. It came to All In and people having to choose what to watch. But for me, in one fall, I was like, this is great, awesome. and especially the prices that they were paying for NXT is like, hey, for $20 with that, with the fees, 25, 28, you can come watch all this stuff too. And it's like, oh man, so I feel like we got a lot of last minute buys for that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I just think I'm super excited for it. My wife, she's excited for me for it because I know she knows that this is something I've really wanted for a very long time. It was just about timing. When I went back to AEW in early 2024, I spoke with Tony and we really I was very candid about this is what I'm looking to do. And I just need the freedom to do it. I don't need help. I don't need anything from you guys. I do, hey, I can take my job back. That's cool. We can figure that out. But because, when we first spoke, it was like, well, what are you doing now? And it's like, well, this is what I want to do. I don't want to go work at a different company. I don't want to do this. I just want to do this. And he was like, okay, well, I could use you back at work. So is there a way to do both? And I was like, I'm sure there is. It's just about figuring it out, And so, like I said, he's been great about it. I think he's probably super excited too to, he loves wrestling altogether. So knowing that, and then of course we are filming it and stuff. And so we will have it to put out there. It's just a matter of where we want to put it. I might give some of the footage to Dave Marquez and let him put it on his United Wrestling Network.
Brilliant. Just
to get it out there. We did that with our Turnbuckle pilot as well. Okay. Just to give him some content as well, right? Like I think everybody can eat at the end of the day, and that's how you kind of grow together as opposed to, everyone just fending for themselves. It's not worth it. There's not enough money to be made to really have these giant egos when it comes to this kind. It's just more or less to have fun, make a little bit of money, but also, give these guys and girls a chance to get out there and practice so that way they have the opportunity when the time comes, like I said, that they're ready. You only get one chance to make a first impression. And that's why at SummerStage, we need to make sure we blow it out the park. You know what I mean? It's the only way to do it. Go big or go home.
With the cards you've got assembled and the many people are kind of coming in, people appearing off screen and otherwise, you've got MJF doing obviously exclusive drop in as well. You've got Jay Lethal appearing. You've got the Gun Club. You've got Hardy Cameron. You've got Tony Schiavone's 30-year return to center stage. You've got a match between the Frat House against yourself and the Gun Club. You got so much going on. Be it the Casino Gun as well for up and coming stars. Last pitch now. QT Marshall. Sorry, last pitch. People are sitting on the fence. People are sitting in their office on Friday afternoon, sweating out their ass in an office in Atlanta, considering, do I go for pints or do I go watch wrestling? What's your pitch then?
Well, I think you could do both at center stage, but I will say this, again, not over delivering on an under promise, right? But you never know who's going to show up. MJF, obviously he's going to do his meet and greet, but then on top of that, he will do an in-ring promo. He'll do something in the ring, on the microphone, doing what he does best. He'll probably plug Happy Gilmore too, because it comes out that day on Netflix. But again, you just never know. I mean, we have this coffin match between, Kieran and Sid, and these guys have been feuding for a year. These guys were both brought to me by Darby Allin. They were both brought to me by Darby and said, hey, these are two buddies of mine. Can they train at the Nightmare Factory? I said, sure, don't worry about it. They don't have to, we'll make it work, Yeah. And then I don't know what happened. I thought they were roommates and friends, but they've been feuding for almost a year now between Turnbuckle and One Fall. So I said, hey, let's culminate in a coffin match, if that's okay. They've agreed. And again, I don't want to overpromise, but who knows who will show up. Wink, wink. And maybe, again, I think that's one of the things that makes us special is, at a normal show on a Monday night, all of a sudden there's an angle happening in the ring, and then Billy Gunn comes out and he wrestles, right? Like that just doesn't happen. So I'm so fortunate that Billy and I are close enough that, we can make those types of things happen. But at the end of the day, you're creating these memories for these fans, and all it's doing is just continuing to build and build and build. So I will say Friday, if you are on the fence, come out. And if, as I always used to say about training, if at the end of the night, you believe that you spent your money and you did not have a great time or it was not satisfactory, qtmarshall@gmail.com. You let me know and we'll figure out something to make it worth your while, because I guarantee that night there's not going to be a fan that leaves that building that did not have the time of their life. So
as good as televised wrestling is, there's nothing like the live experience of an independent wrestling. I'm saying that as somebody who avidly goes to shows around the UK and Ireland, somebody's wrestled on shows around the UK and Ireland. It's a different feel. It's you're not watching a production, you're watching a show you can feel a part of. You can feel again that kind of local community you've built within the greater Georgia, Atlanta area. It's going to grow into something really, really huge. I encourage fans to go to Ticketmaster.com, 1FWLive.com, get your tickets now for this Friday night for 1FW SummerStage. QT Marshall, the guys are going to absolutely blow this out the water. They've got a stacked card, talent coming at their ass. It's going to be incredible.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I can't wait for everyone to be there. And hopefully, like I said, we can make it a yearly thing.
Okay, excellent. Sorry, QT, thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to hear how it goes.
Of course.